All right, hello everyone. So today I wanted to talk about the Quizizz assignment that we had, and I wanted to go through all of the questions piece by piece so that we know exactly what we're doing. So all of these are going to use the same formula to find slope. So slope will be equal to y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. Now these are going to pertain to the different coordinates that we have. So we're just going to keep on using the same thing throughout all these questions. All right, so let's start with number 1. We have 8, 4, and 10, 12. All right, so first thing I want to do is label off these coordinates. We have x1 here and y1 here. x2, y2. All right, now we're going to start plugging them into that formula that we saw. So we're going to start with y2. y2 is 12. So I'm going to say 12. Let's look back at that formula. It says y2 minus y1. Okay, so y2 was 12, y1 is 4. So I'm going to have 12 minus 4 on top. All right, then we have x2. So x2 is 10. So put 10. Then we had minus x1. All right, x1 is 8. Okay. So now let's get a little bit closer. Now we get to solve it. So we have 12 minus 4 on top. 12 minus 4 is going to be a number. Gracious, Miss Fields, it's 8. Goodness. And then 10 minus 8, which is 2. Ooh. Now, we can simplify this, or we can just leave it exactly the way it is. Either way, it'll work out. Okay. Moving right along. Number 2. So we're going to do the same exact thing. I'm going to label these x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, then I'm going to start plugging it into that formula. So y2 minus y1 is going to go on top. So we got y2, that's 8, and y1 is 5. So I'm going to have 8 minus 5 on top. On the bottom, we have x2 minus x1. x2 is negative 7. Okay, negative 7. x1 is 6. So minus 6. All right. 8 minus 5 is going to be 3 over negative 7 minus 6. Now we have a negative subtracting a number, so that's going to be negative 13. All right, that's our slope there. Okay, let's keep going. So we got number 3, same exact thing. x1, y1, x2, y2. All right, I got that formula kind of memorized by now. That was y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, so let's start plugging stuff in. y2, y1. y2 is negative 2 minus y1, which is 3. All right, on the bottom we have x2, that's negative 1, minus x1, and x1 is 9. All right, negative 2 minus 3, that's going to be negative 5, over negative 1 minus 9. Since we're subtracting those are going to be negative 10. Cool. Since both of these are negative, we could just take that away, because a negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive. So it's going to be 5 over 10, or 1 over 2 if you want to simplify it. Like I said, you don't have to do that. That is a personal choice. Either way, it's going to be the same thing. All right, number 4. Same thing. x1, y1, x2, y2. Formula, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1 equals. All right, so let's start plugging stuff in. We need y2, that's 6, minus y1, which is 4. x2, which is 1, minus x1, which is -3. Now, I'm going to be real careful about this here. Since we're subtracting a negative, I am going to put my -3 here in parentheses because I need to differentiate between this negative that we put here and this negative coming from our x1. Okay, so when we do that, you have a negative times a negative. So negative times a negative is going to give you a positive. So I'm just going to make that a giant positive plus sign so that I do not get confused later. All right, so on top, we got 6 minus 4. It's 2. 1 plus 3 is going to be 4. So, oopsies, that's not what I wanted. My goodness. There we go. So I'm going to say, or if we reduce this, that's also going to be 1 over 2. Okay. All right, so last one we got here at the bottom. Same thing once again. We got x1, y1, x2, y2, y2 minus y1 over x2 minus x1. All right, let's start plugging stuff in. I have y2, that's -10, minus y1. Ooh, that's another negative, so I'm going to be careful and put that in parentheses. All right, x2 is -3, minus x1, that's a -2 again, so I'm going to make sure to put that in parentheses. All right, so I have a negative times a negative in both of these, so I'm going to make both of them giant plus signs so that we get rid of those negatives because they are no longer needed. All right, so now on the top we have -10 plus 5. That is going to be -5. -3 plus 2 is going to be a -1. Once again, a negative divided by a negative is going to be a positive, and that'll be 5 over 1, which is the same thing as 5, because 5 divided by 1 is just 5. All right, y'all, that is about all I got for this one. This one's kind of short. Not too long, because we're just following the same formula over and over again. So this is mostly just for practice. Okay. You have a good one. Bye.